In the heart of the Himalayas, between the altitude of 4,000 and 6,700 meters, a unique place has attracted for thousands of years pilgrims in search of beauty and absolute. It's a turquoise lake, Lake Manasarovar, and a diamond mountain, Mount Kailash, the sacred mountain for millions of Buddhists and Hindus who brave the cold and the altitude to make here the pilgrimage of their life.
We are two travelers, fascinated by the intensity of this place, both driven by a personal quest. For Simon, it's a final homage to a loved one. For me, it's a true desire for change. Will we find there what we've been searching for so many years?
I already went to Mount Kailash 15 years ago with my brother Thomas. We were like twins, but Thomas was truly captivated by this mountain. He was my guide on a trip that deeply transformed me. He died in Afghanistan 10 years ago in a car accident. A strange dialogue started with my brother's soul, as if his heart was still beating in my mind. I feel alive, yet I sometimes wonder if a part of me is not already on the other side, with Thomas. Since his death, I have an obsessive need to go back to Kailash, to say goodbye, to get rid of this part of me that is no longer alive.
Just like Thomas before his death, I'm in a state of spiritual search and exploration. Why do we look for meaning? The strange desire to get to the source beyond dogmas and religions. It is this common quest with this invisible companion that binds me to Simon on this journey. This pilgrimage is said to be a symbolic death leading to a new birth. Out there in Mount Kailash, pilgrims circle the sacred mountain just like they do here around the Buddhanath Stupa. It is the kora, going around a sacred place as if celebrating cycles and movement. In my head, another merry-go-round limits and confuses me. That of my inner demons who gravitate relentlessly. My dream is to leave them behind and find the breath that will free me.
I want to get rid of an old skin that suffocates me.
On se dirige vers le Tibet et on a envie d'être discret, alors c'est un peu...
On y va incognito.
Voilà, incognito, discret quoi.
We must travel over 900 miles to get to Mount Kailash. 10 days on bumpy roads are ahead of us. But first, the border. Our bags are scanned and searched. A customs officer examines each page of the book I wrote on my journeys with Thomas. She's looking for a hidden image of the Dalai Lama. We hold our breath. I've stuck together the pages showing a free Tibet flag. She doesn't see it. The first pass at 5,200 meters high is for me the real door to Tibet. I'm glad to be back on this land. I've waited 15 years. Going down the pass, we get to the first Tibetan town. Chinese, I mean.
Simon seems happy to be here, but for me it's a shock to arrive in China. I'm even threatened by the first Tibetan I try to film. The air is different here, rarefied by fear and oppression, as if Tibet was now just China's far west. I didn't expect this so quickly, so soon. We must be careful, weigh our words, and not put in danger the people we film. An SMS supporting Dalai Lama can send a Tibetan to jail for several years. Informants are everywhere. So we haven't told our guides that we're making a movie. Are they collaborators? Dissidents? It's safer to remain silent. In such conditions, it's hard to know if Tibetans still resist.
Nima mebu.
Nima, Bebu.
Nima maba nam hur. Nam rumbu hur. Jai.
Ah.
Hachu.
Chu. So. Dira puk. Oh, Toshin. Kungripo?
Karimbo.
Oh. Katsikora. Chik.
Hello, Nyache. You go.
Karimbo ting chik.
Chik.
Chik kora chik.
Oh.
Ne amu janga me war guru te wa chambola so wa thoka wa linge chayene khandro sanga diwa la so wa ne se lung pon ju chayene ngon thoton na la so wa kele khare sonde Milarepa sonde Milarepa sonde
The prayers of this man touch us personally, because Milarepa is one of the great heroic figures of transformation. In the 11th century, blinded by revenge, he used black magic to destroy his enemies, but he repented and became one of the greatest Buddhist masters. Part of his metamorphosis took place in Mount Kailash, in a cave where he meditated for 10 years.
Kaput.
Il va falloir qu'on fasse une petite prière pour le moteur.
How much?
How much? Ah, ça y est, ils sont le matos.
ah
No, we don't have any
how much?
money.
Gor me on you gor you
Oh,
Din kichi.
Panchen Lama, Kangrim Poche. Oh, écoute, et ça?
Zeng.
Oh, il y a une photo de Dalai Lama.
Waouh.
Ouais, faut pas... C'est interdit ici. Butter, yak butter.
Ah d'accord. C'est comme ça qu'on se lave les cheveux.
Oh, very clean. Ça sent. Smell spécial.
Ça sent super bon.
Voilà.
Mais Jimmy. Mare.
Ça veut dire quoi ça?
Bah, c'est un signe, un des signes des moines de prière. Chez nous, ça veut dire autre chose.
The geography of Tibetan landscapes contrasts with China's history of conquest. Tibet is the new Chinese El Dorado. All along the way, roadwork slows us down. The spirits, like the soil, are relentlessly being churned. The invasion has been methodically organized for 60 years. Roads, railways, airports are built by the Tibetans themselves. It reminds me of the Native Americans in the 19th century during the conquest of the West. In fact, Tibetan nomads are already being forced to settle. I wonder if they will also end up in reservations. Heaven and shit. This cruel duality is going to haunt me throughout my journey.
Town after town, our route is paced by military checkpoints, where everybody must show ID. All travels are meticulously registered. Nevertheless, my heart is light. The mountain is getting closer. We're in the former kingdom of Guge, the cradle of Tibetan Buddhist culture, which was prominent between the 10th and the 16th centuries. Of its magnificent temples and cities, only scraps of walls remain, fragments of mutilated statues.
Ça, c'est un reste de flamme. Là, on a un pied.
The stupas, where the relics of the great lamas are buried, are still being looted.
Des textes écrits à la peinture dorée.
This one must have been smashed open only a few days ago.
12 miles away in Sepahong, another sacred site was not totally destroyed during the Cultural Revolution. Cameras are forbidden inside temples, but I secretly try filming. How could you not film these Buddhist frescoes? Maybe the most beautiful in all Tibet, or what's left of them.
Ça, c'est le Bouddha de métier.
Chinese authorities have transformed this place into a museum. The theme of the exhibition, the massacre of the Red Guards.
That's it, Laura.
In this ghost town, we no longer distinguish humans' work from nature's one. The sense of impermanence is striking. Nevertheless, the divinities that were honored here still seem to float in the air, smiling. Like this woman who is here on a pilgrimage.
Le couteau?
Gunbaji nang na kora ser ku kajang tho kul jamana tho ku ven jo thire doksa tene gunba jaran je yo kai jela oh de chatan la thonding gunba lo chona na ga je jaran je chok ten jaran je gunba jaran je tene chok to ka to na nga je wa hieme.
We finally get to the Kailash and the Manasarovar. For the Buddhists and the Hindus, the lake represents the female element, while the Mount Kailash stands for the male element.
I've been waiting for this so long. I spent so much time imagining the moment I'll be seeing this mountain again. But today, thick clouds hide Mount Kailash. I suddenly realize how much I miss Thomas. These places, so longed for, are only a reflection of days long gone. I must accept that this journey is different, that it's a new reality.
C'était là. Oh.
C'était là?
Ouais, je me rappelle de ça, là, des petits murets, des machins. Ouh, putain, ça fait quelque chose.
Mais c'est peut-être lui qui t'avait accueilli, non?
Ah bah probablement lui.
Parce qu'il est là depuis
ouais, ouais.
77 ans. Et t'avais dormi sur quel banc?
Ah, on avait dormi par terre, je crois, et là. Parce qu'avant la houteille, il y avait un petit muret. Et il y avait un entrepôt de crottins de chèvre et d'yak pour entretenir le feu. Et nous, on était juste là, quoi. On s'était serrés l'un contre l'autre puisqu'on caillait. On était super fort.
Pena kora la komba kanso kanra tu tsora ma sur komba kanso ma sersan ke to da mese gori. Sersan ke to da mese gori da. Te sersan se ka de dige to da mese gori. Kora de kon sosa te yang. Dige tu to ma de dige chu to ma de en ron no to no gori. Ke wa chi ni ron mese gori. O de me ngi ja ko ma na mi so mo lo. Torsa.
What is it? Sacred earth?
Chibana ah saya ri wasn't ta kon the so therang ne kong ne ngap jatuk jan road gore e thong mi di hena andan jot kau ne tsu ri teng as ne ta kon the so ma khor ja jire tanda nga ta kor thong nga hena pi ti ra khor hena pi ti ra je teng is tanda pi ti ri.
These Tibetan pilgrims may never see the ocean, but this sea at an altitude of 4,600 meters is worth all the horizons of the world. They see it as the original womb of all the Buddhist divinities.
मांग में भी लगा लो।
अब ये बार वाला न डालो, बार वाला उसमें न डालो। ये जो ग्रह नक्षत्र होते हैं ना, वो अपना हिस्सा लेते हैं तो बाहर के चले।
All married women do this.
चला जा।
For
Yes.
fire
puja.
Fire puja. For Shiva. Lord Shiva. Kailash is supposed to be the abode of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva resides in Mount Kailash. We believe that that's his home.
He was born here?
He lived here. So that's why it's very important to us.
Another wink from the duality that follows me. Shiva is the great Hindu god of opposites, the cosmic dancer who dissolves the world to bring it to rebirth. He tramples the demon of ignorance and illusion.
Suranjay lagi patawa buddhi balamaramu tor me pawa puji parthiv namo matha hamari manokamna purn karna.
For Hindus too, the lake's water has miraculous virtues. Drinking it cleanses the sins of hundreds of past lives. It's the greatest present these pilgrims could offer to their relatives. But to bring it back, you must bathe in 4 degrees Celsius water.
I'm feel very good and happy. I'm also feel cool.
We stayed here several days with my brother. I meet the same monk who welcomed us. As a sign of respect, I offer him a kata I brought for special occasions. To protect us on our journey, the monks organize a prayer and blessing ceremony. A brief moment where the present finally seems reconciled with the past.
It's our last day on the shores of the Manasarovar. I can't leave this place without having experienced the lake. I need to know. But when I dive in the freezing water, an electrical charge runs through my brain. A few minutes later, a massive headache hits me. Then gradually I don't feel my body or see anymore. I am overcome by both an infinite joy and sadness. An old acquaintance comes back to the surface, the temptation to leave for good. A curiosity and impatience I've always had to find out at last what's on the other side. But Simon sees in my eyes the same reflection of the absolute that he saw in his brother's gaze shortly before his death. He shakes me up and forces me to come back to continue the journey. The Kailash finally reveals itself.
Darshan, a little town where all the pilgrims converge before braving the mountain.
Darshan Rider.
What does she do?
Hello.
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 Hello. C'est quoi ça? Kangripoche. Toi, Kangripoche kora? Toi? Chikni sungshinya? Nya kora? Oh, yakutu. Ouais.
Makan gitu lalak pada dar. 언제 덕발라? 맞다. 언제 덕발?
C'est une nouvelle technique.
Là, c'est le clan des bikers.
Ah ouais.
Et tu peux regarder la consommation quotidienne.
Il n'y a pas grand chose à faire ici.
Que boire de la bière, ouais.
Et de réciter des mantras. Faut choisir son camp, quoi.
Je crois que tu peux faire les deux. Hein.
Tu peux faire les deux?
Ouais.
40 000 là.
Ah,
40 000 là.
40 000 là. Tuni. Ah. Oh. Musique. Ah. Musique. Il y a que tout. Oh, t'es chidélé. Wow.
Attention aux yeux.
Montre lui sa tête. Retourne l'écran. Bon. Doucement. Katsi kora, Rinpoche.
Katsi kora.
Katsi kora.
1001, combien?
1003.
1003.
Oh.
C'est vrai?
Il y a tout. Bodhisattva.
Bodhisattva.
At last, the Kailash. It'll take us 3 days to do the Kora, the pilgrimage's track, which culminates at 5,600 meters at the Dolmala Pass. This name comes from the Sanskrit Kailasha, meaning crystal. In Tibetan, it's called Kang Rinpoche, precious jewel of snows. No one has ever climbed this diamond, far too sacred. For Buddhists and Hindus, it represents a celestial pyramid, the symbol of the axis of the world.
Comment il s'appelle lui? Name? Pourquoi vous faites le pèlerinage du Kailash?
Guru Rinpoche is their great master because he's at the origin of Tibetan Buddhism. Thanks to his magical skills, in the 8th century he converted the adepts of the shamanic religion. This multifaceted character was Thomas's favorite. He's also the one I'm most fascinated with.
Yakputu.
Je te présente mon ami Norbu. Norbu.
De la viande de bœuf.
Beef. Yak.
Sur Yakondo. Ya Yakomindo.
Ça c'est dégueulasse, enfin c'est pas bon. Ça c'est très bon. Yakomindo.
Sur Yakondo. Ya Yakomindo. Kumeta. 단 내가 한게 버르게 낭바상게 미인사는 딥진이라 내가라 약보올라 치마라 나빠매바 근데 니 거세 단 내가 사규 공규 기포 같장 삼는데 치마라 양 마노 블랙가 거래 내가 코로 약보랑 톱대기나다 양 톱대기래 니보 송드레 다 커버뇨 송드레 치 메바시 버르 미탄단 대강 kelakati dipchi nibola no meba chatang skose sungdris.
We can't have everything in a single life. It sounds so right. We would have loved to stay with these nomads, but they were taking another path.
Norbu tucheche tukcheche o tukcheche o tukcheche yomare tukcheche dolmala so
I'm finally back with my ghosts and imaginary friends. Each detail evokes their presence. Thomas loved this place more than anything. His fascination for the Kailash was linked to a deep spiritual search. He was an explorer of the mysteries of the soul. That was his quest. He had no other ambition.
Doing one kora while prostrating like this is equivalent to 100 turns around the Kailash. This test gathers more merit for future incarnations.
달메지 푸마뇨
니마 간줄 코르그레스
냐마 좁게 서코레 네뇨 라코스 메engome
Good luck.
메 아 타나라 니도 지 탤렌 소리 아 지 탤렌 소리
Regarde, c'est la même médaille que toi.
Oh, bah, que tous les Tibétains, j'ai le fait les côtiers.
He has the same.
Yeah, ouais.
But tell him I just copied Tibetan. J'ai juste copié les Tibétains.
Mais est-ce que tu les copies jusqu'au bout?
Ouais.
Tu veux faire les prosternations aussi?
Non, non, moi, ma prochaine vie, on verra.
I admire their patience, their selflessness, their devotion. One day, if I have enough time and courage, I would like to try that experience. Would I be able to make it through to the end?
pierres que j'ai ramassées sur le lieu d'accident de Thomas, en Afghanistan, près de Kaboul. Donc c'est peut-être une des pierres qui a heurté sa tête et qui a contribué à sa mort. C'est con, mais ça fait du bien. Elle pétille, cette peinture, c'est marrant.
My last homage to Thomas is tomorrow. Already. We leave the Kora's path to go to the Kailash's north face, at the bottom of its glacier. Thomas brought me here because he had to do something important. Great Tibetan masters say that here there is a secret door connecting this world with the whole universe. Each wish made here will resonate beyond space and time. Thomas's wish was that God would descend in him and enlighten him. I hope his wish was granted.
Donc le caillou d'Afghanistan, le caillou qui a sûrement blessé mortellement mon frère. Je t'en veux pas, petit caillou. Voilà, on va le mettre au fond. Et alors là, c'est la montre de Thomas, sa montre préférée. Donc il avait au poignet pendant l'accident. Là on voit un peu de son sang. Et qui a continué à sonner pendant 5 ans. Toujours voulu la garder pour la déposer ici devant la face nord du Kailash. Et c'est maintenant, c'est aujourd'hui. Donc adieu petite montre. Et adieu Thomas. Adieu, adieu. Voilà.
La photo de ma grand-mère et de mon père, prise en 1941, en plein pendant la guerre, à Saigon. Ils sont tous les deux aujourd'hui décédés. Et ils sont dans mon cœur.
We've paid our last respects light-hearted. Now my wish is to be able to think about Thomas without being drawn to the other side. To be in one piece where I am, and him to stay where he is. In front of us, the ascent of the Dalmala Pass, the hardest part of the Kora, the place that symbolizes rebirth for Tibetan pilgrims.
Alors, t'es prête?
Oui, je suis prête.
Pour la grande montée?
Je t'attends. Oh.
On va y aller piano, piano.
Alors fais-moi le malin, hein.
Bon, c'était dur, mais pas si dur que ça, quand même.
Caille un peu quand même.
Ouais.
The 5 colors of these prayer flags represent the elements: air, fire, water, earth, and white for the energy of the void. Carried by the winds, these sacred words, these mantras protect and bless all living beings they come across. For me, the symbolic death and rebirth did not take place in the Dolmala as it is written in the Buddhist tradition. It happened in the lake Manasarovar. The inner pilgrimage knows no dogma. It follows its own rhythm, specific to each individual. Now I know that I care more about life than the final journey. The last day of the pilgrimage takes us to Milarepa's kingdom. For horizon, he had this valley, and for home, a cave like this one. He meditated there for several years, living on water and nettles. The legend says that one day while meditating, Milarepa found himself face to face with a horde of terrifying demons. He tried to chase them away with magic and prayers, but in vain. The demons mocked him.
You are supposed to be a great yogi, but you lost your calm. You are scared.
Milarepa then remembered that all appearances are projections of the mind. Thinking these demons were external to him was illusion. Overcoming his fear, he accepted their presence and said,
If you want my body, I offer it to you. Life is transitory.
This attitude of deep compassion calmed the demons, who then disappeared.
I feel freed from a certain torpor and more in harmony to cope with life's violence. One day, Thomas, we'll meet again. Until then, thanks for making me discover this magical place where one can contemplate his soul.
The most beautiful face of the Kailash, turned towards the sun, has down its center this scar that seems to divide it. This enigmatic wound gives this divine mountain a very human aspect. I have the strange impression of seeing eyes drawn on the mountain, looking at me and saying, "You are one of us now."